eggs, which has a fetus in it. So it's basically it's an
a
egg.
Duck fetus. I feel like you need to mention that.
I'm not sure if it's a chicken or a duck. Actually,
Okay.
maybe I should look at. The last
I
time I've
believe it
seen
is a
these
duck.
were on Fear Factor, but now apparently that's a thing. People.
It's a
Well, I mean, I think
delicacy,
it's always
is my
been.
understanding.
It's always been a Southeastern Asian thing. But
like
the
I
first
saw
time
this
I've ever
on, like,
seen
an
it was on
Anthony
Fear
Bourdain
Factor
or something.
And she eats these, and you get the feet and the beak, and you crunch on the bones and everything, and you eat that, and it was just funny to watch you guys cringe as I was telling you the story. And then the worst part is you look at me, and you go, "I'd try it."
Yeah.
I was like, "There's certain things I'm pretty sure, like looking at you guys' faces, but yet you're just like straight face. I'd try one."
I'll try almost any food.
I mean,
once.
well, I've eaten maggots and scorpions and grasshoppers in
Why
Thailand.
are you
and stuff.
eating maggots?
Thailand.
First, hold on. Why are you eating maggots? I feel like maggots
They
are
taste
a
like
sign that you
pistachios.
should not eat a thing.
Pure protein, bro.
Oh, okay. And pistachios, you said?
It
No,
tastes
what
like
else?
pistachios.
Scorpions.
It's very creamy. No, I did. Yeah, I ate pistachios. That's like wow, unheard of. You ate pistachios.
I've done it. I know I'm a real adventurer.
yeah, you're real when you eat pistachios.
Yeah.
You know, you actually broke the shell yourself, or you got the pre-shelled ones. You know.
No, I broke the shell.
See,
I
now
like
that's
it.
how you eat pistachios.
I like it. It makes me feel like an ogre.
But no, so you know, I've had these things, but there's certain things I'm not sure I'd be willing to eat. I'm not sure I'd eat that egg.
Well, I mean,
What
it's a
if?
little
Okay, let's
softer,
say I'm
right?
sitting right beside you, and I eat half of it, and I eat the shoulders up of this.
So I get
Of this duck fetus.
I get waist down.
Yeah, you get waist
69
down.
episodes.
You eat the head.
Yeah, I eat the head, I eat the brain, and like crunchy duck.
I don't even know if it has a brain at this point.
Who knows? And
Yeah.
so I eat. You get the heart though, so you still get its soul.
I stole its heart.
And so, let's say I eat it. And I go, you know what? The bones really not that crunchy, kind of soft and nice. Are you like, maybe now I'll try it? If it
You
gets
know
a
what?
good
I would.
review from the person, right
I
beside
probably
you,
would.
you
I'm
really
just
gotta
sure,
eat
like first bite, I feel like I'd want to see someone dive in before I did it. But I'm the type of person who'll eat anything. Honestly, at 3 a.m., a couple drinks, cute girl says, "Eat this." I'll probably say yes.
Sure.
You know, I'm not sure if you qualify as a cute girl, but after
No.
a night of grinder,
But
you know,
but you were telling me what country is this a delicacy in?
a lot of southeastern countries. You get in the
South-
Philippines and China, Vietnam,
And now,
Cambodia,
Mark,
Thailand.
you have a love of Asian ladies.
I knew that was coming.
So if some Asian ladies from Southeast Asia are eating these little fetus ducks, you're probably more easily persuaded.
Hence, I was going back to 3 a.m. story.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple drinks, 3 a.m. Yes.
You're gonna make a lot of weird decisions.
Well, that's why I ate a lot of the bugs when I was in Thailand. You know,
all right.
There were mostly
Imagine-
Australian people that were
episode
making daring me to eat it.
69. Episode 69. You're a big fan of Asians. You went to Thailand. What happened, Mark?
What do you mean? What happened? There's a
What
lot of
happened,
stories.
Mark?
That's like a good
What
3 weeks
happened?
of stories.
Well, yeah, but what happened?
What happened? Well, you know, there was some hiking, there was some eating, and there
Yeah,
was some
yeah, but what
drinking
happened?
And some, what happened? If you're trying to fish at me about ladyboys or something, that doesn't happen.
You keeping that to yourself?
You know what? They're more obvious than you would think. You know,
Okay.
people tell you that, you know what? I'm glad to share this because people haven't been to Thailand and people tell you,
They need to know.
look out for the ladyboys.
Yeah. You don't
It's-
need to look out.
Honestly, there's no one that's 6'1" in Thailand. So when a girl is standing there that's 6'1", you already have to start scratching the top of your head and be
Mm-hmm.
like, "That's probably not a woman." And first off,
6'1" with heels, of course.
So no one in Thailand wears 6-inch stripper heels on the street, you know. And so they're basically standing there, and you walk past them. They're still kind of square shouldered, and like, you know, I didn't even have to look for an Adam's apple at that point, and. They basically just catcall you when you walk by, and I'm sorry, no woman catcalls you when you're walking by. No one looks at you and goes,
I have been
"Come here,
catcalled.
sexy boy." Like that's
I've
just
been
not
catcalled.
Well, good for you. Well, there's something
You know
I've
what?
been doing wrong.
You know what?
apparently,
I
this
feel
my
like
whole
this
life.
is one of those things where like women in my life have said like, "Oh, you don't know what it feels like."
It must
And
be
I
the
do.
mustache.
It's incredibly uncomfortable.
Well, you know what? That's why I said
get
when I
it.
came back from Thailand after being catcalled from ladyboys. I'm like, I understand what women
Change your
are
ways.
talking about when they say it.
Now you quietly comment to
Now
yourself.
I quietly to myself. Yeah,
And mutter it under your breath.
yeah. Just I choose my words wisely. Yeah.
So Matthew,
Well, I don't know if are we done talking about these fetuses that you guys are so willing to eat? Because
Hey, we were
Sebastian,
comparing textures.
I have questions.
how many? Go
how,
on.
how developed does this fetus have to be before you do not eat it? What trimester?
For a duck, I don't know. I think if there are feathers, I wouldn't want to eat the feathers.
Oh no,
So
you can.
feathers
No,
are too
it
much.
has the feathers.
It has the feathers.
It has
How
the
much
feathers.
feather?
Well,
Like,
not full feathers, but like little whiskers, basically.
I feel
the
feathers
roots
would be
of
the worst
feathers
to eat.
Yeah, it has.
I would
It
hate
has
to
all
eat
that.
feathers.
They don't actually
they'd
say
be
this
wet.
one is just perfect.
Of course,
This-
it would be
they're
wet,
Yeah.
or it's cooked right through like a hard-boiled egg.
Well, I don't think you're cooking. Are you cooking? these
I'm,
things?
you know what? I'm actually not sure about that. It doesn't look like it's cooked, but I would think you probably should cook it.
Yeah.
It is poultry.
You should cook it. You should wait.
Hard
till
boil it. I guess it's
uh,
hard boiled. I would assume.
Yeah,
because
you should wait for it to
you
be
kind of
born.
break
It
the
should
shell.
develop for years.
I'm not sure. We should look into that. But basically, regardless whether it's cooked or not, it's still a duck fetus in an
Yeah,
egg.
and it
Does
just
it? Does it? How open are its eyes? I think that's a real
you see
sticking
the
point
eyes
for me. Yeah?
You can see they just look at
Do
you.
ducks have eyelids? Yeah, they do.
I don't know.
How do they sleep if they
But
don't?
fetuses usually have their
Oh,
eyes.
their eyes open
almost
with no
closed.
eyelids. No, they have you can see it. It's legit a full animal in it when you look in the egg.
Sure, but
It's not an
fetus
embryo.
of
It's
an
a
animal.
whole. It's the
Well,
whole.
now we
nine.
get into a whole other
Right.
question of life before.
It must be
birth
third
and-
trimester or something. Like it's ready to go almost when you're
Yeah?
eating it. Yeah.
Now this is my last point. Now, presumably, you could be very intoxicated when you eat these, right?
I could be sober.
I mean, Mark's trying to impress a girl. He's eating like a carton of
A carton of
these little egg duck fetuses. Let's say you forget what happened.
yeah,
You wake up the next day. You're really hungover. You go and you throw up.
sure. And a duck
Can you
comes
imagine
out.
how horrifying
Oh my god!
throwing up like 6 little duck fetuses would be?
Oh my god! Why would I have not chewed them? Any of them? 6 of them.
Well, okay, well,
I'm
because
just
they're
eating
so
them whole. I
disgusting.
go, it's
You
so
eat
gross.
you
Let me
eat
just
the
swallow it.
oysters whole. I mean, I imagine you're
chewed
sucking
them a
back
little
a
bit. No, I
sloppy
chewed a
little
little
fetus.
bit.
You're going to suck that thing down and get it over with.
Yes, that would be horrifying.
Especially if you're trying to impress a girl. But maybe you chew one. So what? You get like you throw up a
Who's
couple
this
full
girl that
bodies.
I'm impressing by sucking down a whole egg?
There's some weird people out
Yeah,
there.
I suppose so.
I mean, anyway. Go ahead.
So Matthew, what did you think of your burger today?
Yeah.
Grinder.
Let's go back to
Uh,
basics.
It was pretty good. This place reminded me of a place we've been to recently, Sebastien.
Yes, Hashwall on
Yeah.
Saint Laurent and Rachel, related to grinder. Hashwall being the French translation of the word grinder.
Yes.
It's got the same photo, apparently from the 70s, of a man pointing at you, giving a firm but loving look. So they are related restaurants
Okay.
with very different menus.
Yeah. Okay. They had a similar dentist themed
Yes.
lighting.
Again, dentist style lights above the kitchen. There was one in the washroom I noticed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was very happy with the burger, Sebastien. And I was very happy with the washroom for having Texas Chainsaw Massacre sliding metal doors because I
You
could
say
picture
that, and that's
myself.
such a weird way of describing
Well,
it.
You guys are eating.
It's a sliding door.
Yeah, but it's a heavy metal farmhouse
meat
door,
locker
like
type
a
of
meat
thing.
locker. Yeah.
Oh, at Grinder. I wonder why they would do such a thing.
I mean, I
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, probably.
I would lie. I'd be lying if I said I didn't envision me opening that door and grabbing somebody and pulling them in, not to do anything sexy.
Nothing
but to,
episode 69 themed.
No, but to hang them on a meat hook and,
of course.
and harvest their organs.
Far more normal.
Yeah. Well, you guys are out there eating oysters, so I think I have some leeway here.
Mark, what did you think of your burger?
The burger was fantastic, really good, cooked to perfection.
Yeah.
As we asked, medium rare.
medium,
It was really good. Kind of like, I don't like pickles in my burgers because I find pickles in general tend to overpower the taste of the pickle.
A
Of
high
the burger,
five
sorry.
between Mark and
Yeah,
Mark
because
and Matt.
usually you sit
Yeah.
there, you're like, burger, and then one bite and it just tastes like all pickle. I love pickles, but in a burger, or a sandwich, it annoys me.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on pickled Doritos?
That should not be in existence because Doritos are amazing and they're the best thing in the world.
How about
And
pickle Lays?
No, that's disgusting.
Still chips.
How about pickles? Just a big old
No, I
dill
like
pickle.
pickles. I make pickles with Colin.
How about sweet pickles? Those little sweet ones.
Gherkins?
Like a cocktail
Like a
pickle.
gherkin.
Like ripple
Yeah,
pickles?
gherkins.
You know those little ones?
They're okay. I'm not a huge fan of those.
2 inches
They're
long.
okay, but I don't go nuts for them unless you mix them with a little sweet onion when you're having a vin fromage or something. But
So not in a burger, though.
no, because you just do. But this time, I didn't realize till I was 3/4 of the way through my burger that, holy shit, there's been a pickle in here the whole time. Like it blended in perfectly.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my one takeaway from that burger, and that bacon was sweet. It was like, and I don't even know if it was maple. I don't know what.
It seemed like a maple smoked bacon
Yeah, but it
on
was
a beef patty in a nice bun with
Caramelized onions.
Caramelized onions, pickles, a garlic, mayonnaise, tomato, and lettuce.
Basically, yeah. But the way it blended in so well together that you were getting different flavors every bite.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was surprised. I got 2/3 of the way through the burger, and I realized there was things in the burger I didn't even know that were there in the first place. That's what, to me, it was like a nice little surprise burger. You know? But for a place you wouldn't think that you'd go get a burger. Usually, you go there for like fancy meats, a nice steak or a nice salmon or something. That's oysters, 5 assiette. Everyone's in suit and ties. It was a pretty solid burger.
Now, I feel that if you have a bunch of nice things on your menu and a burger, you better be able to nail that burger. If that's like effectively the simplest thing on your menu,
I would assume
you should be able
yeah.
to do a very, very good job of it.
Yeah.
And I feel that Grinder did.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a nice, thick beef patty. I already described the toppings on it. The pickles were sliced, not lengthwise, widthwise. Just little circles of pickle. Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, you know what? Jacko didn't even notice there was a tomato in his burger.
I was about to get to that.
So
Matthew, who for 69 episodes has been avoiding tomatoes now, like the plague. You've pulled tomatoes out of your burger as if there was a hair in your burger. You've taken a bite of the tomato and then closed your eyes and shaken your head with great, deep disappointment. And today, Matthew, I noticed at the very end of your meal, there was just the thinnest crescent of tomato left. Really, basically, the outer edge. You had easily eaten 90%, if not more, of a slice of tomato. Matthew, is this the change in your approach to tomatoes? Or was the burger just so good that you didn't even know?
I don't want to talk about it. In my defense, it was very dark. It was noisy, so I couldn't hear the sloppiness, the crunch of this tomato. I should have looked underneath it. I should have lifted it up, and it's only when it fell
or just
apart
read the menu and said no tomatoes.
I did. I looked at it. I did not see tomato.
Okay.
It started falling apart maybe 3/4 of the way in, and that's when I noticed there was a pickle. I was a little turned off by the pickle. I ate that separately, but then I saw that...
You do like your pickles on the side.
On the side. And I saw that little sliver, and I was like, oh, no, please. I hope it was intact, and I just ate around it. But no, I ate a lot of that tomato.
You ate almost an entire slice of tomato.
The feeling that I had was like when you were eating an apple in the dark, and then when you're done, you realize you just ate a worm.
What if you...
I would have rather eaten the worm.
Better or worse than eating an egg and realizing it's got a duck in it?
I'd probably eat the tomato before the duck. But I feel like it's not my fault. And it's not a change. It's not a change in character. It's not a change in preference. It's just I have to be more vigilant.
I don't know, though. But you ate and enjoyed most of a burger with tomato in it.
Probably get a lesser rating because of all the tomato I ate.
Do you really believe that? Or do you think that maybe you just didn't notice because it was such a delicious situation? And perhaps the whole tomato fear is unfounded, and it turns out you actually enjoy tomatoes more than you realize.
No, I don't believe that. Not for a moment.
Is it a texture thing?
Texture, even the taste. I don't like the taste of it. And I had one bite, and I was like, this kind of tastes a little rotten. A little, no, okay, I'm going. But it did have a little taste of tomato, and it's not necessarily a bad taste, just a taste I don't like. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be childish about it. I just don't like the taste of tomato. And
Matthew,
is that like a whole vegetable thing, or is it just tomatoes?
I like vegetables. I'm okay with vegetables, but tomato, something about it. Ever since I was a child, and I've tried it every now and then. I'll have a cherry tomato just to see, and it's still not for me.
So, is it more childish to pull about 10% of a tomato out of your burger, or at a nice restaurant request ketchup?
We've had this discussion. I don't think ketchup is a childish
condiment.
I feel like at Grindr it would have been childish had you had mayo with your fries, and the guy's like, "Would you like ketchup?" And I felt like it's not the place for you to ask.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Yeah, and I said
he was pointing at you,
he was just looking at
and it was like the answer is no, is what he was mouthing with.
It's like this whole table ordered burgers. This one person ordered fries. Let's do the test.
Yeah.
And I passed.
And you shook your head, casually said that you were okay with just mayonnaise.
What am I? What am I to you?
Now,